All right, guys, here we go. Bill Hillestad, happy Monday. What is the wow? February 10th. Uh oh, Valentine shopping. Glad we did this. Nice reminder for me. Okay, today I was just going through. I've been doing a lot of presentations and trainings lately, and I've got this one that I've used many times in the past. 25 marketing hacks, and it's just 25 quick tips. Blah 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 blah. And I was going through this, going, come on, I need something. What haven't I shared recently? And this one just seemed really relevant because it's the one that always stumps everybody. What do I do? What content do I post? What videos do I make? So I'm always on you to make videos. So just going to hit you real quick with a whole bunch of ideas. And by the way, this is up in the resource center. You can access this. Wow, is it noisy here? Um, sorry, busy intersection. So here we go. You need to make videos. I still love connecting my connections. Whoopsie. Better than anything else. That's probably the best thing you can do, other than like the closing gifts. But always try to celebrate somebody else. Those will always do better. One, because you're saying nice things about people. Two, because you get to tag them, share to their timeline, like we talked about last week. Monstrously successful technique if you can make your content include or be about somebody else. But here's some other ideas that have all been incredibly successful for people. How about this? Fun for families and kids. I should have put that up here. Chris did one where he went through and actually did park reviews. And now I've had a couple of mom realtors take that and run with it, where they literally just did park reviews for every park, but they started including all the kid businesses, the local fun places to go hike, to go play with, things to go do. What about the Space Museum? And then they started including curated content where they found cool tips for crafts and stuff like that. And they would curate that content by throwing in their own commentary and then cut to the craft thing and then maybe show their version of whatever came out of the craft project. So easy to become the realtor for families and kids and to put up articles about what houses make better and about neighborhoods and resources to find neighborhood. Fun for families and kids is a piece of cake. Just start out by going out to the parks and doing a review. What's the speed limit here? What's the traffic count? How busy? How clean is it? What equipment is it? What age groups seem to be? Ask some kids what they think about it. Get their parents' permission to use them in the video. All right. So fun for families and kids, which includes park reviews. I got to tell you, these park reviews are huge. When Chris did it, he was actually testing all the slides and the swings and the whole 9 yards, and he ended up being like the Pied Piper with a bunch of little kids running around following him. Thought it was the funnest thing ever. He's like, all right, show me the best slide. Huge. Food and entertainment, we've certainly hit on this a lot. Aaron Alvarez is always my example of the guy who gets it, does all of his market updates from restaurants. Food, things to do in the area. Think about this. 80% of your content is for them, not for you, for the people viewing. If you do business in a local geography, I would love this. I live in a neighborhood I've only lived in for 9 months now, and I've been trying really hard to hit every single restaurant within a 5-mile radius, and I've maybe hit 30% of them. Man, would my life be better if somebody had been putting up, and yeah, I use the Google reviews, and I lean big on reviews, but I'd like to see the inside. I'd like to get your take. I'd like to just Tina Swanger. She did this up in Colorado Springs. I thought it was brilliant. She was a self-professed lousy cook. She and her husband would go out to eat 5 nights a week, according to Tina. And she just started, whenever they went out to eat, saying, hey, is the manager or owner here? We'd love to meet him. And the wait person, whatever, would go get the manager or the owner in many cases who would come out to meet him. And they'd say, we just love blah, 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 or whatever, assuming they love. But bottom line is they'd do one of these, but not a selfie, a quick little selfie video. Hey, Tina and John here with blah, 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 blah from. We just wanted to give everybody a shout out and say, fantastic, love this. Did we? Blah, blah. Just a quick little 30-second what they loved about that restaurant, meet the guy, whatever. And then they would post it to their page. put a tiny little boost budget on it, tiny little boost, like $10, and then tag that business page, and then make sure they became friends, because at the end of it, hey, what's your name? Here, let's become friends on Facebook so that we can share this through to you. We get a lot of views on these. Well, bottom line, when Tina did that first one, she ended up getting into multiple conversations with people who were looking for homes, because she's a realtor, and you get it. The rest just happens because everybody else that loves that restaurant sees it, because the channel gets tagged and because the owner gets it shared to their timeline. When you take last week's training, combine that with nothing more than, we go out to eat 3, 4 times, 5 times a week, and we shoot a video with the owner or the manager. That's it. That's the greatest marketing you could ever hope for. Places of worship, got somebody that did this in the Inland Empire, pointed out to me as a relocation specialist that 40% of people that relocate have to find a new place of worship, a new church. So they started doing videos with the, rabbi, guru, pastor, reverend, whatever, at all the different churches, and just, so who's the church for? What do you do? Da-da-da, what kind of things you got going on? And just like any of the interview trainings, you do the pre-interview, you find a few key questions, you create a quick interview with them, highlight how awesome they are, and what's going to happen. Well, Rabbi Goldstein, Father O'Malley, Reverend Bob, guru, whatever, whoever the leader from the church is going to share it with their congregation. And they're all going to share it, encourage them to share it. And it's built in, guaranteed viral. It's incredibly valuable content for people that are looking for a new church, place of worship, whatever. Brilliant, brilliant strategy. Local events, this one's a piece of cake. All you got to do is keep an eye on your Eventbrite, your Google Events, your whatever, know what things are going on, and shoot quick videos. If you can reach out to the people or go to their websites to grab some graphics, great. But just hey, Manhattan Beach, Bill Hillstead, your favorite realtor. Just wanted to give everybody your weekly heads up on what's going on this weekend, or your monthly heads up. And then just a couple photos, or I could even do it as a screen share like this, just have my tabs open and click between them. But people love local events. They love getting things highlighted. And remember, especially if you're connecting with the people that run the events, you're making relationships and connections with these social influencers in your area. One more reason I love, this is the one that we use more often than any other, one more reason I love living in Manhattan Beach. One more reason I love living in, because it could be anything. It could be an interesting citizen. It could be a great restaurant. It could be a cool park. It could be a historical fact. It could be something about the traffic or the crime or the whatever, or something you found in the news. One more reason I love, and everybody else who loves the community you're in, Anthem, Arizona. Surprise. Henderson, Nevada. One more reason I love is the easiest thing to do. It makes a great channel. Can you not come up with one more reason you love living in every single week? And it could very frequently be somebody or some organization or some business, so that you're doing the whole build my network of influential fans. Check this out. That was one we've done several times, because it's just very, very easy. And you can literally, anything that's got the, the wow factor. Wow, check this out. It could be a cool shopping website, an interesting app, a product or whatever. It's just an easy one to add in there, as long as, remember, you're going, will people appreciate this or not? If I share a website that lets you check the criminal record of every house, so that when you're looking for a house, you want to make sure nobody was ever killed there, didn't used to be a crack house or whatever, that's valuable. Not real interesting, but it's valuable. If I, had a whole bunch of people here over the weekend, and they were all going through some weird app somebody got to find out what your spirit animal is. I had no idea it would be so popular. What a big deal. But wow, what a cool thing to add or to share. Check this out. Isn't this cool? How about an app that lets you check the cell phone coverage for any address? So you, when you're looking for a home, can rule out the neighborhoods where, oh gosh, I'm on T-Mobile, Verizon, Sprint, whatever. I'm not moving to this neighborhood because Verizon doesn't work there. By the way, it's a huge deal killer. It's a big deal. Lots of things you can do. Check this out. Virtual community. You know what? I'm going to just go on too far. Let me just skip over some of these. What to do in the community, just interesting ideas for what to do. That one's simple. The business interviews, you guys get it. Sorry, I'm getting too long already. I'm really trying to get these down to 15 minutes. Business interviews, any business, it's huge. This week in local history, it's a piece of cake. Almost every community, city, whatever, somebody's created a book on this day in history or the history for this area, or there's some historian that has this information that you can share, and it's interesting to people. It's tribal. I care about what happens or has happened or about the history. It's fascinating news to me. It gets lots of comments. It gets lots of shares and engagement. Hey, if you enjoyed this, please like, follow, share. Really appreciate it. Big piece of cake. Buy one book. Buy one. And by the way, a book isn't one that I listed up here, but that's just one example, especially if you're not like at a bookstore, but you go to a gift shop or whatever, a local gift shop, and they've got a few of the local kind of books, whether it's local history or it might be brain teasers or it might be broader history or whatever, but any of those bathroom reader kind of books where they have lots of fun facts, quick little nuggets, those are perfect things to share. I hate to say it, but yeah, a whole lot better than market update, real estate this, real estate that, real estate this, real estate that would just be go buy an Uncle John's bathroom reader and share one thing from it every week. Stuff people care about. Local online resources, people don't know about this. It's a really good one, but there's so many local websites, local resources, local tools, things, local websites. And if you just go Google it and you start searching around, well, one of the things that happens in addition to giving everybody in your community resources they want, yes, I want to know about the local online resources, is as I connect with all the people that own these or run or manage these resources, I'm building relationships and driving traffic to and creating reciprocity with some of the most powerful local influencers. Pre-listing teasers. I got one coming up. It's not on the market yet, but if you want to see it before, you want to get a chance, this one's going to hit next Thursday as soon as pre-listing teasers. And I'm not going to tell you from a compliance standpoint how to do it. I can just tell you that I've seen it done effectively many times. People love to see stuff before it hits the market. It's something that people click through like crazy. Resources for buyers, that's a piece of cake. There's so many apps, tools, websites like the ones I just mentioned. How to check the cell phone coverage, how to check the criminal record. Here's a little app that lets you keep a journal of all the houses you look at and helps you score them and realize what you like better than. Here's one that lets you, I used one that let me do floor plans. When I was trying to figure out which place would do best for me, I just went and got a floor planning app that let me walk around the house with a video camera turned on, and I just pointed at the corner of every room, click, click, click. And when I'm done, it rendered me a nice floor plan. I was able to look at the floor plan and then drop in all my furniture, and I measured my furniture, 84-inch couch, and here's a blah, blah, blah. And I could see how my furniture fit in there and was able to figure out what stuff to move and what stuff to get rid of. It was, those are not only great things to share, once a week, once a month, I do resources for buyers, resources for listers, whatever. It might be a referral to a business that can help you. Yeah, here's a resource for buyers, somebody who will come in and do an estimate of all the things that you need. Community connection, yeah, it's just community connections. It was just something that we used as a title once, where it was just, and meet the community, eye on the community. We've done a lot of versions of this, but it's just, here's cool people to know in the community. And it could be businesses, it could be individuals, it could be the person that organizes the Little League, the Girl Scouts, whatever. People always want to know that all of their community connections. It's kind of like a virtual directory. And by the way, if you have a community directory, how easy is it to just start going through and adding videos for those Listing stories, because 80% of your content's for them, but 20% needs to sell. Usually your listings that you want to put up there. We tried very hard to turn listings into stories. Don't just say 1521 Mockingbird Court. Nobody cares about the address, or the address isn't going to catch anybody. I guess they'd care about the address, but make it a story. It has to be about great home for this. And when you go into the big document in the Resource Center on listing stories, there's a lot of very specific examples, but 4 homes under 500,000 with a pool in, the best entertainment homes on the market right now, the 5 houses with great man caves in Manhattan Beach, you name it, stuff that gives me a reason to look. I want to look at man caves. I want to look at great yards for entertaining. I want to look at gourmet kitchens. Those are the things people care about. I want to see multiple listings instead of just one. If it is just one, give me a reason. Make it a story. People want stories. Remember, every story has to have a hero and a villain. Make it a villain. If Manhattan Beach, parking's always the problem. Blah, blah, blah. You ever seen down and on? You can't, and there's no parking? Well, check this one out. Any feature, be sure to contrast that feature with all of the homes that don't have that feature. Tired of boring kitchens and you can barely, and you're all alone, you're in a cave. Check out this and see villain. Create the pain so you solve the what and do story. Interesting locals, one of my personal favorites, really fits in with one more reason I love living in, but interesting locals can be anybody. See, now I can take anybody. It's like a local who's who. Manhattan Beach who's who. Interesting locals, interesting Manhattan Beach residents, whatever. Now anybody I meet can be a story. The old guy that was in World War II and has amazing stories, or the person that spent 6 months on a bicycle in Africa doing, or any story somebody has, or that's involved with a charity, or that does. Almost everybody has some interesting somewhere in their past, their history, their whatever. That's a huge, huge one, because remember, every influencer, when you do a video with somebody else, you're the authority figure. It elevates you to or above their level, and all their friends see it. It just has a natural psychological impact of saying, wow, Bill's an awesome, important, successful person because he's interviewing and edifying and building up my friend Sally. Interesting locals is a great one. Hey, and you know what? I love knowing my locals. I love knowing my neighbors. I love knowing what's going on. Virtual open houses. Yeah, I go to all the open houses and do a 360 video of. That's the kind of stuff. People like to know about what's going on in their neighborhood. We're nosy. We want to know about the neighbors' houses, who the people are. I want to use locals. I want to meet locals. Meet your neighbors is an awesome, awesome channel possibility. Local decor, pretty simple. Had an interior designer that did home staging, worked in real estate. She and a realtor partner created a channel in which they highlighted local decorating tips, and they just took one decorating tip out of a local person's house, here with blah, 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 that lives in whatever. And today we wanted to highlight a technique called and whatever. And they just went, because it's not like everybody has a great designer home, but everybody's got one little thing. The use, the placement, the color, the organization, the way I sectioned off space. I'm not a decorator, but it was an easy one to do. And think about all the people you made close connections with because you flattered them, because you highlighted their cool decorating. Everybody loves seeing that stuff, and all of their friends all comment and engage like crazy. Last one, doing good in the neighborhood. Pretty simple. Anybody that's doing good in the neighborhood, just highlight everything that's going on good in the neighborhood, from people that are volunteering to, obviously charity auctions and 5K runs and kids raising money for, to stuff that's going on. Just You're only there to highlight and praise. We're back to highlight and praise. So there you are, a whole bunch of ideas. Certainly not 15 minutes. I'm closer to that dang half-hour thing again, 20 minutes. But that's as fast as I'm able to talk. Guys, these are just some ideas. Again, if you go to the resource library up at billhillestead.com/resources, or just click on resources, go down to the content section, what videos to shoot. There's a whole document full of all these kinds of ideas with greater explanation. But you just find one or two of them, and you're guaranteed with the majority of these to be successful, because you're sharing things that people care about. That's what makes them a guaranteed success. If you're complimenting others, if you're helping others, if you're giving to others, if you're talking about what others care about, the local community, stuff in my area, it's tribal. I can scroll past all the content in the world, but when I see something that is about my tribe, my group, my organization, my community, my neighborhood, I have to see what's going on. I'm curious. And if you're doing good, if you're helping people, if you're praising people, I don't care how bad your video is. You will make more friends. You'll have more reciprocity in your life. You can't go wrong. So there you are. That was tip number 21. Imagine a training in which that was only the 21st tip. Obviously, I couldn't spend as much time on it. Anyway, there you guys go. I don't see any questions. Don't see any whatever. Look at this again and try to come back to it. Try to come up with one or two of these that you go, yeah, I can do that once a month. I can highlight local wisdom. I'm just going to pick one cool tip from somebody. Everybody's got a cool tip. How to save on your taxes. How to get those nasty stains out of your driveway using Drano. How to blah, 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 blah. My mother showed me how to make, it could be a cool recipe, anything. Again, I'm bragging about somebody local. Massive win, great way to build your relationship. Remember, there are only two marketing functions. You are making new connections or strengthening existing ones. This is a way to do insane quantities of both, because everybody that you're helping, you're making a really strong relationship with, and everybody that likes what you're doing, you're starting a new relationship with them, because if they're engaging, asking a question, liking, commenting, or just watching your video, you're getting them into your database, into your audience, and they're going to see you forever. And if they watched once in the community, odds are they're going to keep liking it. Put out one of these a week or one of these a month and do 4 different ones, and you can't go wrong. So easy. Don't even bother with equipment. Just do it like this with your cell phone, and you'll be fine. Sorry, ranting now, but I just want you guys to do this stuff. It works so well. All right, that's it. No questions, no comments. I'll wrap it up. And hopefully there was people there. And I logged in and it worked. I will see you guys next week. Be sure to send me a message or text or something if you've got something specific that you want me to focus on. Otherwise, I might just go grab another random tip out of these 25 tips and hit you with one. Whatever works for you. Anyway, there you go. Talk to you guys next week.